Hello, and in this video I will be showing you how each Yu-Gi-Oh card works and where to put them on your field. This is the field with all the positions, and in the bottom right corner is where you would put your deck. Now moving to cards, I'm going to start off with the basic monster card. This is a basic monster. You can tell it's a basic monster by the yellow on the border on the outside. These monsters are usually quite weak and not usually worth in a deck. Next up is effect monsters. Effect monsters are very similar to normal generic monsters, but these ones have an effect which makes them way better, and I do suggest using them as the main part of your deck. Now moving on to monsters' levels. Each monster has their own unique level, which corresponds to how much it takes to summon them. So in this case, a level 4 and below monster requires no sacrifices to summon. But a level 5 and 6 monster requires a monster in order to summon them. And level 7 and above monsters require 2 monsters to be tributed for them to be summoned. Although usually level 9 and above break this rule and require certain things to do in order to summon them, but please read the card if you do need help to summon a certain monster. Monsters can be summoned in the 5 card slots in the front that are currently in white. Now moving on to spell cards. There are multiple different types of spell cards, that being the normal spell card, then equip spells, continuous spells, and field spells. Each of these spell cards have a different purpose. Normal spells are the most basic and can really do anything. Equip spells usually buff your monster, and continuous spells are usually there for a long time. And finally, field spells usually have an effect that will help both you and potentially your opponent if they have the right cards, but that practically never happens. The spell cards go right behind the monster cards in the light green area and on the left of it for this field spell specifically, and you can only have one field spell on the field at a time. Now moving on to trap cards. There are 3 different types of trap cards: normal trap cards, continuous trap cards, and reactive trap cards. Although normal and reactive trap cards kinda act the exact same. But continuous trap cards will stay on your field until removed by either you or your opponent. Just the same thing as continuous spell cards. Trap cards share a position with the spell cards at the back of the field, but they don't have any field trap cards, so they aren't on the field slot. Next, we are going up to ritual monsters. In order for you to summon a ritual monster, you need its ritual spell card. So for the Black Luster Soldier, you need the Black Luster Ritual. And enough monsters in your hand or on the field to have a level total of 8. Ritual monsters share the same position as normal and effect monsters. Now, moving on to fusion monsters. In order to summon a fusion monster, you need a polymerization card and the monster's fusion materials. So in this case, Elemental Hero Avion and Elemental Hero Burstinatrix. That is how you would create a fusion monster. Now moving on to synchro monsters. In order to summon a synchro monster like Stardust Dragon, you need at least a tuner monster and one other monster that you can summon that's combined levels equal the synchro monster that you're trying to summon. Now moving on to XZ monsters. In order to summon an XZ monster, you need at least 2 other monsters that are the same level as the XZ monster on your field. So in this case, if we were to take 2 Luster Dragons, we could then XC summon them to get a number 39 Utopia. Unlike most monsters, Fusion, Synchro, and XC monsters all only are in the extra deck and can be summoned via their different methods to the field at either the monster zone or the extra monster zone in dark blue. Now moving on to pendulum monsters. Pendulum monsters are very complicated because they are not only just monsters, but at the bottom they are also spell cards. So they are both act as both a monster and a spell card. At the bottom you see their monster, what kind of monster they are, and if they have an effect or not. And at the top you see what their spell is. And I'll get into that in a moment. Pendulum monsters have two little gems on the left and right side, indicating their pendulum scale. Pendulum scale can be between 0 and 13. And in this case, a Pendulum Scale 2 monster and Pendulum Scale 9 monster can summon up to 2 other Pendulum Scale monsters that are 2 and 9 Pendulum Scale, or in between them as well. When a Pendulum monster is destroyed by battle, instead of going to the graveyard like all the other monsters so far, they go back to the extra deck. And if they go back to the extra deck, then you can summon them back to the field as long as you have a Pendulum Scale on the field. And because these Pendulum monsters are spell monsters, the Pendulum Zone is actually the 2 little gems that you see on the diagram here, on the right and left of the spell and / trap card zone. And finally, we are on to Link monsters. Link monsters are also in the extra deck with Fusion, Synchro, and XC monsters. But unlike the other ones, Link monsters don't need specific materials to summon if they're not higher level, because higher level ones, then you do need material to summon them. For instance, if I was to take this maximum 6 Junk Synchron and Performal Pendulum Wizard, I could still get my Black Luster Soldier of Chaos on the field. Link monsters can also use other Link monsters as part of their Link chain, kind of. Where if you have a Link 2 monster, you can then use it in the summoning of a Link 3 monster by using it and another monster. Because every monster, even if it doesn't say it, has a link of 1 to begin with. And when they're added together to make a Link monster, then that monster will keep all the Link combined. Link monsters are a bit different than the other ones in the fact that they can only be in the extra monster zone unless there's another Link monster there already. And with that is all of the different kinds of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. I hope this video helped you understand a bit more of Yu-Gi-Oh, or if you're new, how to summon certain monsters. But the best way to summon monsters in general is to just read the card, because this is a short guide and it cannot cover every single of the tens of thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters and cards and how to use them.